Wishing all the students of class 11th political science a very good morning. And students, as you know, we were doing the second chapter of your second book, as first book we had already completed. So we were into the second chapter, and the chapter's name is Liberty. And the first part we had completed of this chapter, in which we had studied about liberty and freedom. We had taken the definitions and meaning of liberty and freedom separately, and then all together we had seen the differences among these two terms, as commonly we use these terms as synonyms in place of each other. We use them frequently, but I told you, as a student of political science, you need to be more professional about it. But before I move forward and start my lecture for today's topic, I would like to remind you and give you certain important instructions relating to COVID-19. And I think these instructions are really very important for me, as well as you, your family, your friends, your neighbors. It's not only instructing you, it's for us also, and its implementation is must to fight against this COVID-19. As you have been doing it from the last 5-6 months, we need to continue it. As we can see, people have started neglecting the basic instructions, which are very important to fight against this virus. As so, I want to remind you, and you must also tell your parents, your friends about all these important instructions which we must follow. For suppose it is very important when you wear mask, as you know it, it's very compulsory to cover your nose also and mouth properly with the mask. And in the marriages these days, we can see, or in the market we see, there is a rush and people are neglecting wearing a mask or hand sanitization, or not even maintaining the social distancing. I have myself have seen and experienced, you must have also seen, but we have to be very careful when we are going outside our home still, because this danger of COVID-19 is still around us. Okay, so the instructions here are: wear mask properly, follow physical distancing, that is social distancing, maintain hand hygiene, which is very important. Before you eat or before you go outside your after you come from some market or outside, you must wash your hands properly, sanitize your hands properly, and without washing, do not eat anything outside or even at home. And do not touch your eyes, nose, mouth with the dirty hands before washing it. Before wash your hands, then. Okay, so wearing mask is proper, is very mandatory, and it is very important. Stay at least 6 feet from others. Wash your hands frequently. Always you have to wash with soap and water. You have to sanitize your hands for at least 20 seconds. That is, for 20 seconds means you have to wash your hands properly. And remember to not touch the face or eyes, as I told you, with the dirty hands. Do not share your food, drinks with others. Do not share any eatables with anyone, and avoid eating outside your home. Okay, so these are some of the important instructions which you must follow, and you also should make other people aware, as you are a student of humanities, and this is all related to society. So as an aware citizen, as an aware student, you must follow these instructions and also help others people, so that they are aware about these instructions. So with this, today we'll start our lecture, that is on liberty. We'll start the second part, and I have already discussed what we had done in the first part. And today basically I will be taking a topic from your NCERT basically, although this is a new topic, liberty, but freedom, a part is very important, and a very good explanation has been given in the NCERT book regarding freedom. So I shall be discussing that today. Okay, so let's start the topic for the day. So liberty we had done. Now we'll start. A simple question is here: what is freedom? This is a topic from the chapter freedom. Now this chapter's new assigned name is liberty. But to understand liberty, freedom is a very important topic. So we have seen the difference in the last video. Today we'll see only what do you mean by freedom, and we'll see about the constraints that are. We will talk about the hurdles or restrictions which are on the way of freedom. So we can see here a simple answer to the question, what is freedom, is absence of constraints. If anyone asks you what is freedom, it means absence of constraints. Okay, if you are in the class, I say your class is free, you can do anything. It means I have freed you from any constraints. अब कोई रुकावट नहीं है, कोई restrictions नहीं है. You are free to do whatever you want. You want to play, you want to go to library, or you want to do painting, you want to do written work. It means I have removed all the constraints. I was sitting in the class, there were constraints. I was there, you wanted to play or something, but you were not allowed to. Those are constraints. It means there were certain restrictions and hurdles. You wanted to be free, but I was there. But if I remove these constraints, okay, or restrictions from the class, it means you have got the freedom. Okay. In the other sense also you can take it, and I have just taken a simple example. It means a simple answer to the question what is freedom is absence of constraints. So this is a very important term which will be used again and again whenever we are talking about the term freedom. So be very particular about it. Freedom is said to exist when external constraints on the individual are absent. When do we call that okay, I am free? It means any restrictions, any pressure from outside has been removed. External means I am a human being. There is no pressure from my family, from my friends, from my society, from laws. If I am all free, it means I have got the freedom. Although this is not the meaning of freedom, we will try and understand. As we were talking about equality, it is multidimensional. It has the various meanings at various contexts, as when we were talking about children, when we were talking about women, when we were talking about the special students with a special need. So with the context, the meaning also changes in our society. Same is with the freedom. So one context or one dimension of the freedom is where all the constraints are missing. It means we have got the freedom. Okay. In terms of this definition, an individual could be considered free if he or she is not subject to external control. If no one is controlling you or you do not have any pressure from outside, it means you are free, is able to make independent. It means you will be able to make independent decisions. If I tell you, you have to buy a bike, you are a student of class 11th and 12th, can you take this decision independently? No, you have to be dependent on your parents. They will say yes or no, which bike do you want. Same goes with the girls, you want a scooty. So you are not independent. There are some constraints, and those constraints and restrictions are from your parents. But if those constraints are removed, it means you are free to take your own decisions. Okay. However, absence of constraints is only one. So we are talking about that freedom is absence of constraints. When there are no restrictions on it, we are calling it as freedom. But this we are calling as one dimension of freedom. This is only one side of the freedom we are seeing. But this is not a complete meaning. It is a very broad term, and we need to. That is why we are studying under political theory. We are studying equality, freedom, justice, democracy, because these terms cannot be explained with a single definition. They have a various dimensions and meaning. They change with the context according to area, places, societies, groups. So all have some different aspirations and desires from these important political phenomena or political ideas. Okay, so one side of the freedom is whenever we are free from any constraints from outside, we call it freedom. Okay, so now let's move forward. Now, moving forward, freedom is also about the expanding of the ability of the people. Now, expanding the ability of the people, the potential to improve the potential of the people. Here, freedom works. So, we are seeing the another dimension of freedom. One we are seeing, the other is, like I have told, freedom is also about expanding the ability of people to freely express themselves and develop their potential. So, here, freedom is very important, where people can express themselves properly. They can develop their potential, whatever talent they have, whatever potential they have, what qualities, characteristics they have. So they get the opportunities to express what they have, and they have they can show their creativity through this freedom. Freedom in this sense is a condition in which people can develop their creativity and capabilities. So in this other side, other dimension of freedom, if we see, it means freedom is in the other side is a condition. Freedom is providing is a condition to you where a single citizen can develop their creativity and capability. It means if you are an artist, or if you are a musician, if you are a good student of science, you want to go do MBA. So here you are getting the freedom from your parents, from your society, and where there are various laws through which you are getting those opportunities, that platform where you can improve the potential and you can develop your potential to show your creativity and capabilities. If there are always restrictions on you, it means you will not be able to show your potential, what you have. Okay, so this is the second side of the freedom. So that is, I hope you must have understood after reading the introduction part of this book, that is Political Theory and Introduction. The topics which we are covering under this book, those are the vast topics. They have the multidimensional meanings in a society, and they keep changing. They are not static, they are dynamic in nature. Okay. with change in place, with change on time, with situation, they will have to be we can say review. We have to make reviews regarding it again and again, and this is the work of political thinkers and political scholars. Now moving forward, both these aspects of freedom, the absence of external constraints. So if we see what are the two type of aspects of freedom which we have seen, one is absence of external, when you are free from any external constraints, and another is when there is existence of condition in which people can develop their talents, when there is a condition where people can have the show their potential to develop their talents. And important is, it is very important, both these are important. A free society would be one which enables all its city members develop their potential with the minimum of social constraints. So any ideal society would be a such society where all the citizens are getting the opportunity to develop their potential, their capacities, their creativity, but along with the minimum what we call constants. There should be some constants, a minimum constants, but on the same way, on the another hand, we should also provide opportunities to the people where they can develop their creativity and capabilities. It means they can improve or develop their potential in various fields of art, music, dance, studies, okay, sports, etc. Now, no individual living in the society can hope to enjoy total absence. So this is very important. If I ask you, would you go in the society and you think you have all the freedom, there are no constraints on you, you can do whatever you want? No, there are basic rules, regulations. If I take the example of road, do you think that you are free to go anywhere, in any way, any speed? But there are certain constants, and these constants are there to maintain the law and order and peace and decorum of a particular place, of a country, of a state, of a region, of a village, of a city. Okay, so that is why some constant, these are very important to maintain the balance between the people and to maintain peace in a place, any particular place. So that is why there are traffic rules for you. Those laws are made so that there can be a proper and a smooth functioning of the traffic. There are no conflicts during the traffic rules. Okay, so that is why there are traffic rules. So example is I have given you, so let's read it. No individual living in society can hope to enjoy the total absence of kind of constants. It means there will be some time of constant, but those constants are important for you to develop your potential, okay, and restrictions, because necessary then to determine which social constant are but the question here arises is, when the society or when the laws are made, it is very important to understand properly that which type of restriction and constraints are necessary, then to determine which social constraints are justable. There should be we also have to see which are necessary, and which we also have to see which are justified and are not, and which are not, which are acceptable, which restrictions we will put for the public, those are acceptable or not, those are according to the constitution or not, and which should be removed, or which constitution should be removed, constant should be removed, which constant should be implemented. All this has to be discussed in detail after looking the relationship between the individual and the society. To understand which constraints are necessary, discussions on freedom need to look at core relationships. So if we have to understand this, we have to see the core and close relationship between individual and society. When we will see the close relationship society, that what do the people want from the society, what are their desires, what are their dreams, what are their aims, and which type of life is possible there, which type of constraints should be imposed. It is only possible when we will see the core relationship between the individual and the society, or a group, community, or state within which he or she is placed. This is, we need to examine the relationship between individual and society. At this place, we try and find and examine and interpret the relationship between the individual and the society. We would need to see which feature of the society allow the individual the freedom to choose. Here we'll see freedom, what type of freedom an individual requires. The individual freedom to choose, decide or act. What type of freedom an individual needs to decide or act, or to choose something for his potential, to develop his potential. We would need to determine which feature is desirable. We'll also see the feature of freedom, which feature of the freedom is desirable by the people, and what are not. which should be removed and which should not. So all this we have to check after only studying the deep core relationship between the individual and the society. Okay, so further we will need to see if the principle which we use for differentiate necessary for or unnecessary constants also apply to the relationship between individuals and groups and notions. So if we see now, finally trying to show the conclusion. Thus far we have defined freedom as the absence of constant. So we have been discussing freedom as the absence of constant. To be free means to reduce the minimize social constraints. If we say that someone wants to be free, it means we are removing the social constraints, laws, rules, regulations, whatever, that limit the ability to make choices freely. However, this is only one aspect of freedom, but as we told, there are various aspects of freedom, and this is only the first one. To put it in another way, freedom also has a positive dimension. To be free, a society must widen the area in which individual, group, community, or nations will be able to charter their own destiny and be want to wish to be. Freedom in this sense allows the full development of individual. Here I have already discussed freedom in this sense. In the other sense, on the another dimension of the freedom, freedom means where the individual can improve or develop its potential, creativity, or sensibility or capabilities, be it whether in the field of sports, science, art, music, or exploration. So these two we have discussed in regarding the freedom. In the next video we shall be discussing about the positive and negative liberty. This I thought that from the NCERT book this part was important for you to understand. Next thing we will do in the next video. Till then, thank you.